And we're live. Hello and welcome to a very, well, I wouldn't say somber edition of West Ham Fan TV Friday Night Pint. My name's Nick Ilkins. I'm with Graham and Ryan tonight. How you doing, boys?
I'm good, mate. I'm good.
Not too bad, man. A bit tired. I'm not going to lie. Late night last night and working today and back in work tomorrow morning. But yeah, no, we'll battle on.
You all right, Gray? What you been up to this week?
Not a lot. Just the usual working, boring stuff, really. So yeah.
You need a bit of excitement.
wait, Nick. Tell me, you're not somber from last night, are you? Are you somber from last night?
No, I'm just a little bit upset. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just a little bit. I feel sorry for myself. That's all. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm getting to the point where I'm 40 years old now, and I'm thinking, you know, why can't anything just be so simple?
Mate, if life was simple, yeah. If life was simple, we'd never. No, I don't know. Like, it'd be all right. It'd be all right.
It is what it is at the end of the day. But let's go. Thank you so much for everyone for joining in the chat. We'll be reading out your comments throughout the night. Sorry I wasn't here last week. I was a little bit busy last week. So, yeah. So get involved tonight. I don't think there's any Scotty tonight, is there?
It might get on a bit later, possibly.
Yeah,
liar.
That means he won't.
Yeah, he definitely won't. But I suppose we're going to have to address the elephant in the room. Obviously, after a massive build-up, it was a bit of a disappointing result last night. But I've had sort of 24 hours to sort of reflect on it now. Just under. I watched the highlights. Well, I don't think we're out of this by a long shot.
No, that's right. That's why I'm not too despondent. Well, I'm not despondent at all about it. You know, when that game could have easily been 3-3 last night or 3-2. You know,
I didn't even need 24 hours to feel like that. I felt like that at the final whistle. As I said last night, mate, there was enough I took enough out of that game yesterday. I know we lost, but I think away from home, especially in Europa League, we've been brilliant on the road. I know we lost to Seville, but we played well out there. And in the last round, we went to Lyon. So I'm confident going to Frankfurt next week, and I still think we can. I still think we can get through. It's not over. It's not over. I think the turning point of this tie was when they hit the post, when they could have made it 3-1. I think if that goes in, I think then it will. It could have been over. We've still been in it. You know, it'd have been a lot harder being 3-1 down than 2-1 down. But yeah, no, I was just a bit disappointed. I can understand people's frustrations last night. They're upset. They went there and expecting us to win 2-3-0, and they're walking our heads down. I was a bit disappointed as well that the final whistle went, and I heard a few boos, which I think was ridiculous, and then people just streaming out. I know people got to get trained in that. But that was our last home game in this Europa League run. And that's why I stood there and clapped. Because whatever happens now, these boys have done us proud. David Moyes and his team has done us so proud in this campaign. And we've gone a lot further than what anyone thought we was going to get. So I was a bit disappointed. I thought that it would have been nice to sort of give them, at the final whistle, just give them that round of applause. But yeah,
I mean, the people that stayed back, you know, I didn't hear any booing, to be honest, but you know, the people that were still in the ground sort of give them a round of applause when they went off. So, and the thing is that you got to give credit to Frankfurt. They come and they nullified our attacking threat, didn't they? I mean, I thought their midfield were really good. They really didn't let us get beyond them very often.
Yeah, same as Nicky. I mean, I watched the highlights back today, and apart from their 2 goals, they didn't really offer much. They had that one chance where he sort of hit it on the half turn and Areola sort of closed his angles down to make it difficult for him. But, I mean, look, we've hit the post. But when Bowen went through, I didn't realise the keeper actually saved it. He got a touch on it. So that's a great save from the goalkeeper. He probably didn't know too much about it, but the goalkeeper's there, put himself there. And then, obviously, it was the what was the other one? Ben Rama's one as well. You know, that took a deflection on another day. That goes in. And then Jarrod Bowen's effort right at the end. I mean, if that goes in, God, that stadium would have been rocking. But
Roof would have come off.
I thought the atmosphere was quite flat last night for a semi-final. I mean, the build-up to the game was brilliant. Everyone, I think that the early goal just knocked the stuffing out of the fans.
Yeah.
When really we should have been, especially that second half, we should have been right behind them.
The thing is, right, I think, like, you know, when we played Seville, the home leg was second. We'd lost out there. We knew what we had to do, and the crowd knew what we had to do. The players knew what they had to do. But I think when your home leg's up first, it's I don't know. It always creates a bit of a different atmosphere for me, because I've noticed the atmosphere was better when we had the home leg second, because then it's shit or bust basically.
There was plenty of people up for it last night, but as you said, a goal in 50 seconds, it kills you. It can kill a crowd, and that plays straight into their hands. I mean, like, not only does the players get a little bit of time. I mean, we've got to sort that out, because we were slow to start in Lyon, and that we got away with one there because they hit the post. But like, we can't keep on starting like that. I mean, that was a terrible goal to concede. I think both goals weren't great goals, to be quite honest. But
well, to be fair, mate, looking back at it, their second goal was a really good goal. The way they knocked it about and played the ball through. It was just a good. They carved open our defence. The first one was just lazy. Just 4-0 was just
switched off.
Man. Yeah, switched off.
Just switched off.
Yeah, it is what it is. But that, when you've got a game plan, when the crowd are up for it, it knocks the stuffing out you. I mean, it was like a bit surreal when I saw the goal go. I didn't even see the goal go in. I was looking at something else. It was so early in the game. I was looking at their fans, I think, doing something. And I'll tell you what.
Go on. Sorry.
No, go on, mate.
No, I was just about to say, I know you say like it changes your game plan when they score it early, but I don't think that should. I think you should still set up the same, still go. It's so early on in the game, you just think, right, we just keep going. Yeah, you don't just change your whole game plan when you're 1-0 down after 40 seconds. Just stick to it. Just stick to what you've been working on all week. And look, we got the equaliser in the end.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, as flat as it was, we still could have had 3 or 4 goals. So that, there's plenty to be positive about. I'm still confident we can go there and get a result next week.
Well, what we've done in Lyon should give you confidence. When you get to this stage of any competition, you're going to come up against quality opposition. And Frankfurt last night, they've been around in these sort of the Champions League and the Europa League for years now, and they're no mugs, and they know how to see out these games and win these games. And this is all new to us. But next week, we know what we've got to do. We've got to win that game. We've got to go there and win that game of football. Our season rides on that game.
Things, mate, it's a semi-final. Everyone who's in the semi-final deserves, the respect. There's no easy game once you get to the sort of quarter-final, semi-final stage. There's no easy games. You got to respect every opponent and not think you're going to turn up and steamroll them or roll them over easily.
Someone just said, "Look, I was looking at the away fans lighting flares." Yeah, I still don't understand what that was all about. I mean, the geezers lighting at the flares were right at the beginning, right at the front of the crowd. I don't know why they weren't getting dragged out. I thought that was illegal to.
Oh no, they got them inside. I can't. Like throughout the game, I think there was about 10 went off.
Yeah, it was loads. There was loads of flares. Yeah. But I mean, as I say, like, it does kill an atmosphere. I think there was a lot of people, a little bit like Lyon, really started drinking too early in the day, knocked themselves out a little bit when it came to the game. Everyone wanted to go. It was a bit of a strange crowd last night. You know what I mean? And I've seen, like, what I don't want to see is what I've seen today, and that's people just keep on going at each other, and people just like going for each other's jugglers about who's the better fan. You shouldn't be doing this. You shouldn't be doing that. And like, I've seen a lot of that today. A lot of whinging today, which has pissed me off a little bit, to be honest.
Yeah, no. Really, Europa League semi-final. We're halfway. There's no need to be whinging. There's still a long way to go.
Lot of jealousy and bitterness around for people that didn't get tickets, and then they're getting pissed off with people that did get tickets. Like, I mean, I think. I'm going to talk about the ticketing situation a little bit later with West Ham, but you know, that's nothing. At the end of the day, it is what it is. You know what I mean? Like, people have got tickets and people haven't got tickets. You're going to struggle when it comes to that sort of game. You know what I mean?
Well,
Like, if you haven't been, you know, you can't turn up and say, well, I've been to so and so game, and I've been to so and so game. I should get a ticket for this game. Like, these people ain't going midweek. Yeah, they go to every other one. Like, if you give them to everybody, then, you know, nobody gets them, do they? Let's be honest. If you give them to every single person, then people are going to miss out. There's got to be a way to do it. And, like, it's just that there's a lot of bitterness and jealousy in terms of the tickets and things. But, like, we need to stop attacking each other over these sort of things. It's not great, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, the amount of people that were, when we were queuing up to get in, Nick, wasn't it? The amount of people trying to bunk in behind us.
Oh, loads of gibbers last night, man. Loads and loads. And they got in, them, you know, them two kids that we see, they got in. I saw them in there. I was talking to them.
Yeah, but that's what I don't get. The steward stopped them.
Yeah, yeah.
And they just let them stay in there.
I said to him, how did you two get in? He went, we've got tickets. I went, you fucking liar. Do you know what I mean? Like, I said, I see you jibbing in. I said, you tried to jib in behind me. He went, no, I've got a ticket. I don't know what the fuck was going on. But, yeah, what did you make of this? 2 German broadcasters got attacked by 2 West Ham fans after Antonio's equalised.
Yeah, I was reading about that today.
Well, someone told me that it wasn't an attack. They basically just jumped on them, like, you know, like when you jump on someone when you're celebrating, and the geezer's headphones got knocked off. And I think by the sounds of it, I think the press and the 2 German reporters are taking it a bit over the top. From what I heard, what happened, they was obviously giving them a little bit of banter. And when we equalised, they've sort of jumped on them, going, hey, like, go mad. And then the headphones have gone flying, and then all of a sudden it's an attack. But yeah.
Where was that supposed to have happened, you know?
I think it was like by the press box where they all sit at the top there.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I knew there was. I know there was a little bit. Somebody turned around and said, "I've never known so many YouTubers to support West Ham." Just a minute ago, but you know, they got the tickets. They've obviously.
Well, I see even like people like Ryland Clark was in there last night, and I've never seen him at a West Ham game in my life.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the thing is about these people, like, you know, when you say about these people, is that at the end of the day, more than likely, mate, they know a lot of people. They're more than likely know a season ticket holder who's giving them a ticket,
look,
and then you can buy extras.
Yeah, it's not their fault they're getting offered tickets. So,
yeah, I think for the second leg, I think it needs to change up a little bit. I think there's a few changes to the team. I know I'll give him a lot of stick, but I thought Benrahma was good when he came on yesterday. He still needs to make better decisions in the final third, because I think some of the chances that he had yesterday, not the sort of chances that he carved out himself, but there was a couple of times when he could have rolled them across and he chose to shoot instead. I think it was a little bit poor, but I think he was a little bit quicker with the ball. Oh, my camera's gone off. There you go. He was a little bit quicker with the ball last night than it usually is. I think the European game suit him. I think it's a slower sort of tempo for him, and I think he can. He's sort of excelled in Europe, hasn't he?
Yeah, I mean, I think the European games suit him a bit better than the Premier League. If I was to make one change next week, I think I'd probably bring in Soufal for Johnson, just to sort of shore up that defence a bit, because I think Johnson last night got caught out of position so many times. I mean, the only other change you'd probably make if you're going to go Benrahma is Benrahma in for Lanzini. But I thought Lanzini done a lot of work last night. He wasn't great, but I think there was a few players last night that looked a bit off. I mean, maybe the occasion got to them, you know, or maybe Frankfurt were just that good. You'll never know. But, yeah, I mean, this is what Arsenal on Sunday, I'll rest so many players. Like, I know we want to win the game, but you just don't want anyone picking up a silly injury. Like Zuma shouldn't play against Arsenal. I'd rest him now until next week.
Yeah,
Dawson can't play.
Huh?
Dawson can't play.
Yeah, that's the only thing I'm thinking. If Dawson can't play, then maybe he might put Zuma in there. But then again, if Dawson can't play, you've got Johnson, Soufal, and Creswell as a back three, and Massawa, like we did against Chelsea. But obviously replaced Dawson with Soufal.
I think they should bring the kid in. To be honest,
Yeah, maybe give Elisa a chance. Yeah, that's a good shout. Maybe
I know. It's a big game, mate, and like I'm not holding out too much hope for Arsenal.
Last time we chucked in a youngster against Arsenal, we ended up beating them. So maybe it might be a good omen.
Yeah, I think it'd be tough for him without a other recognised centre back, but you never know. It's just sometimes you just have to. I don't know. You just have to fucking bite the bullet and give them a chance, and they might,
Well, the thing is, that's what that's why you have your academy. And he's been in and around the first squad, the first team squad this season. So Moyes obviously sees him as one for the future. So give him a go.
I think thinking about it now, I think we probably will see him start against Arsenal. I think it's a great game for him to start in as well. And you never know, he could have the game of his life, and he could put himself in contention to maybe start a few more Premier League games this season, if not in Europe, if anything happens to Zuma or Dawson. So
someone said there, did anyone go Hackney Wick? I got caught up with the German fans and then knocked to the ground by a copper and pushed in with the travelling fans. My brother did, and I see a load of them when I was travelling over I was doing an interview over that way.
You told me that last night.
Sky Sports, and all of a sudden, about 5,000 of them come around the corner, and I was just stuck in the middle. Like, I had a jacket on, luckily, and I had this shirt on. It's obviously got like the British flag on there, so I was just like, luckily, because it ain't West Ham colours and this badge, they might not have. I don't think they clocked because it's a very different badge, but. Yeah, it was something else. But then I've done an interview with Sky Sports, man. Listen to this. I don't think I made it. Because Ryan was meant to do it, but he had a problem with his ticket, and we was meant to do it together. So he said to me like, look, I've got a problem with my ticket. I'm not going to make it." All right. So it was meant to be live, but it was like at 7:00. So they said it's not going to be able to get live because once it gets to like this time in the night. The signal goes round the ground and we have to send it in as live, I was like, okay. And he was like, yeah, so like we'll do this interview and all that sort of thing. And then I rang my mum later. I said, did you see me on the telly? She went, no, we waited from 7:00 all the way up to kick off and you wasn't on it. I said, oh, for fuck's sake. I think I got kicked off, right? I think I got booted off because I told a joke. Right, so obviously, as I'm walking up to do this interview, the team news comes out, and Zuma's in the side. I thought, "Fucking hell, that's a surprise and all that sort of thing." So as I gets over to the thingy, I'm doing an interview. It's going along nicely, like. Then all of a sudden, she goes to me, "And what about the news that's just coming through now? It's exclusive. Kurt Zuma is in the starting lineup. What do you think about that? Kurt Zuma. David Moyes had an interview earlier in the week, said there's no chance he'll be back, but he's back. What do you think of that, Nicky? I went, yeah, he didn't let the cat out of the bag, did he?
God.
And it was like quick as that, right? So I just
I've never seen Graham so
disgusted
by a joke in my life.
No, it's just a proper dad joke.
Yeah, but I said he didn't let that cat out of the bag, did he? And I tried not to make too much of an emphasis on it, but he carried on. But I think they might have sent it in, and they had a look at it and thought, "No, we can't. I don't think we're going to be able to put that one out, to be honest." But yeah, listen, it was just quick. It was just I was just quite impressed with just quite impressed with the speed of that one. But yeah, fuck it, whatever.
Yeah, whatever. Well, they can't see the funny side of it. Fuck them. Pussies.
Yeah, well, I didn't see the funny side of it, but you got, you can't spend your life being so serious all the fucking time, can you? They was never going to let that slide. Someone said, Nicky, you told me not to stop sending in jokes last night. Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, but back to the game. It was. Yeah. Do you think it was a little bit? Do you think the build-up was too much? Do you think that it was too much
Well,
pressure for everybody because it was
no, I
like
mean,
obviously we've been looking after it for so long, and then to lose the game, it's a little bit of a damp squib, isn't it?
the thing is, mate, it's our first European semi-final for 46 years. You can't not build it up. And the thing is can't say, well, was it too big a game? Well, as a player, they're the games you want to play in. So, I don't think it was the occasion or anything. I just, Frankfurt did their homework on us.
Yeah, I just think on the night Frankfurt were the better team, and yeah, maybe the occasion might have got to some of the players, but as Graham said, that's what you play football for. I mean, you look around that team. Kurt Zuma's played in big games before in Europe for Chelsea. Declan Rice for England in the Euros. Souček and Soufal have both played in the semi-finals. It's Fornals as well has played in Europe. So it's yeah. I mean, there's I see enough out of that game last night to go to Frankfurt next week and be confident that we're going to put on a display, and hopefully by the end of the game we'll be all celebrating that we're in the Europa League final.
I think if we do what they did to us on the night, and that's get an early goal, I think they'll collapse Frankfurt because they looked at times like you look at go back to the Barcelona game, they were cruising in that game, 3-0 up at Nou Camp, absolutely cruising, and they started once they conceded one, they started to collapse. Like I think when we scored one last night, I think they was, you saw at times they was struggling at the back. So I think next week is keep it tight, keep it, 0-0 for as long as you can, but get the early goal. Get the goal. Just don't let them score first.
Well, the thing is, they're not going to, like last night, I say they did their homework on us and they basically packed the midfield, nullified us. We never really, once or twice we sort of played through them, when we got the ball moving quickly. They're not going to be able to do that at home.
Thing is, as well,
the fans won't want them doing that at home. They'll want them to come out and attack.
I think it plays perfectly into our hands because I think if we was going there with a 2-1 lead, we'd just sit back all game and invite them on. And now we know we have to go for it. And now Frankfurt are thinking, do we attack them or do we sit back? And we have got the players like Bowen, Fornals, Declan Rice driving forward, Antonio, Benrahma. We've got players that can punish them. So it's so going there with a 2-1 down, I think plays in our favour more, if that makes sense.
Well, the thing is, because the away goals don't count anymore.
Exactly.
It's not like they can just sit there and try and defend a 2-1 lead, and even if we win 1-0, we're out. They're going to have to,
what they need to do, mate. What they need to do. What they need to do when you look at, thank you, darling. That's delivery with us. That's a delivery with a smile, isn't it? When you look at what? Was that sarcasm? No. Can you go? I'm doing something, please. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. So when
had a beer,
I've only just had one sip.
Exactly. Mouthy, getting mouthy already.
No, but I'm trying to do something, and she's like lingering at the door. I forgot what I was saying now. Fuck it. What was I saying?
You saying about next week they can't sit back?
No, they can't. They can't sit back. No, they can't sit back. We have to go for it. But I think that suits us. What we need to do next week is we need to practice. I know this is stupid, but at times this year, we've struggled to create chances. We didn't really struggle to create them, but our passing game at times is not great. There's a few players in there that just can't pass the fucking ball. To be quite honest with you, I like Souček. He can't pass the ball. I think yesterday Souček should have come off for Noble, because I think although Souček's a little bit more mobile, I think what Noble does a little bit better than Souček is retain the ball, and he's got that. I think he's got a bit of a range of passing as well. And it's a slower game, you know what I mean? Like I don't think you should be scared to use Mark Noble in them situations because he was frustrating me. Yet, like Antonio, there was one point where we got the ball out to the fucking we got the ball out to the wing, and there's nobody in the box. And that's what we need to do as well. Start getting Souček if he's going to play round the back into the box, so he can I thought he was quite poor last night to be Souček. But you see, like the ball goes out to the wing, and Antonio starts fucking running towards it.
And that's always been my frustration with him, mate. And I've said when he stays in the box, that's when he scores goals. When he comes dragging out to get involved, like just stay in the box. It's like last night when we said on the reaction of even about our free kicks and corners. We're the same thing all the time, and the goalkeeper knows exactly where it's going to go, so he comes and claims it. Sometimes you just got to try something a bit different. When you've done it 5 or 6 times, just maybe throw the opposition off a bit and roll one to the edge of the box and let someone wait there. Because there was times where Ben Rama was free, but Fornells wants to whip it in. Creswell wants to whip it in. So just butter for the goalkeeper.
Well, you saying about you're frustrated with Antonio kept drifting out wide. I think when Bowen's over a kick hit the crossbar. Who was it followed it up? Was it Ben Rama or Fornells? One of them followed it up, didn't they?
No,
I think it was one. Was it one of them? So I was thinking, like, if Antonio stayed in the box, he would have been there for the rebound.
Well,
probably.
no, you saw there was 2. There was Ben Rama and there was Antonio, and neither
was it Antonio.
Yeah, neither reacted.
We watch it on a replay in slow motion. I mean, that happens so quick. To react that quick, sometimes it's easy for us to say when we watch it on a replay, but when you're in that situation, it's usually against the Germans, it is the crossbar and goes in. So we was unlucky. I mean, it was a great effort from Jarrod Bowen. I think if that goes in, that place would have erupted, and people would have been a bit more positive. But as I said, mate, and I've been saying it all day, I still feel confident going there next week. I still think they've got enough. Them players have just got to leave it all on the pitch next week. If we lose that, if we go out next week, but they've put in such an effort on the night, and what can you do? You can hold your hands up and say, okay, we've been beaten by the better team over 2 legs. There's nothing you can do. It happens in football.
Yeah, I say that's why I wasn't down last night after, because you think, well, there's still a game to go. It's only half time in the tie, and like so, I think we've got when we're at it, as we proved in Lyon, we've got enough to go away and get the result.
Let's take some comments. Right, Frankfurt fans are crazy. Next week they're going to be well up for it. This is going to be up. It'll climb from now. Fornells has his worst game for us. Frustrating as he is. Ben Rama did very well when he came on, and they couldn't handle him. Should go on the Kit Kat advert, Nicky, you and Zuma. Easy. There's room for improvement on last night's performances, John. Whereas Frankfurt were at the top of the game, so I'm keeping the faith. They look well organised, but they didn't look like a good quality side. I thought they was a good passing side, to be honest. I thought they kept the ball well when they shifted it around really well. They're going into the second leg 2-1 up. Sometimes that's a difficult position to be in. Do you defend or do you attack? We know we have to win. We will counter-attack more than last night in Frankfurt, which suits us a bit more. They were the better team, but not miles ahead. 1-3 next week. That's a reverse of what happened in the old in the 70s. Evening, lads. Oh, did you see Tony Cotty's statement today saying sign of an English goalkeeper is being announced soon? Do you reckon it's Sam Johnson? Yeah, I did see that as it happens, and we will get onto that a little bit later. But there was something said that Tony Cotty said that apparently they've agreed something for an English goalkeeper. Do you think that
Tony
could be?
Is Tony Cotty the new ex-employee then? Is he an ex-West Ham employee now?
Well, he is technically.
Well, a year. What was it? Half a year ago, he was trying to buy the club with Pi Capital.
Yeah,
I saw him on Wednesday actually.
Yeah, I think quite a few people saw him on Wednesday, but I don't know. He just said that he reckons that he knows that there's a deal been done for a keeper and it'll be announced soon. I think he could be a young keeper. To be honest with you, I don't think it's like a first team keeper. I don't think we should be looking to get rid of Areola just yet.
Nah.
Try and get him on another year's loan if we can. you know. But I know there are a few people sniffing around him. I know Fulham are going to be sniffing around him.
But I think he's been good for us. He's been great.
We can't. We have to sign him. We have to sign him. We won't get him on another loan. No way.
No.
PSG want him off their books. He'll go. If he don't go to us, he'll go Fulham. I reckon. As you said, they've just come up. He had a good spell there when he was there. Now they got relegated, but they really rated him now. And I think we'd be stupid not to sign him. I think, especially for 11 million for a goalkeeper.
The thing is, mate, he hasn't put a foot wrong. I don't think when he's played. So I don't see why we wouldn't. You know, I can't see why we wouldn't want him.
It might come down to wages. He's on a big wage, isn't he?
Yeah, I don't know too much about Sam Johnson. That's what worries me. The wages. I know he's on big money. We shouldn't be paying him that wages. Like, you know, from what he's on at PSG to compared to like what we pay, it'd end up being our highest paid player. He nowhere near warrants being our highest paid player.
No, I think if we did sign him, he would have to come to some sort of agreement to say, look, you're not going to be on the wage at PSG. We ain't got PSG's money. We're not PSG. You know, you want to play week in, week out, you got to take a wage cut.
Yeah, I think that's definitely like he's like third choice goalkeeper and he's on over £130,000 a week, which I think is like for what they're paying people. I think it's ridiculous, to be quite honest with you. But there's no way we should be looking at him at that sort of money. And there's no way that he comes in and he becomes our best paid player. That would be absolutely ridiculous if we did. And if he did want that sort of money, I would be looking elsewhere. I'd be looking at Pope at Burnley, maybe. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's good keeper, Pope.
Yeah, but not at £130,000 a week. Our highest paid player owns 120 at the moment, so that would be a little bit ridiculous if he wanted that sort of money. Definitely not for me. Definitely not.
Yeah, no, I agree, mate. And as I said, if there's any chance of getting Areola, well, there is a chance because we've got I think it's 11 million that's been tagged. So you just got to go and pay it. I mean, we've earned a lot of money through this European campaign already. I think it's so far but what's it, 36 million, 38 million we've earned. So, you know,
they're fucking putting their fucking all in when it comes to the ticket prices. When you compare it to other places, it takes a piss a little bit, to be honest.
What's that?
The price that we charge for the tickets. I don't think anyone else charges that much.
What, 45 quid?
Yeah. Well, that's for us. It goes up and up and up.
Well, nah. Man United charge over 150 quid for a Premier League game, mate.
No, that's Man United, though. I'm talking about anyone in our competition.
You're talking about 45 quid for a European game?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm talking about 45 quid.
I don't think that's bad at all for a European game.
No, but around Europe, I think we're the dearest.
Yeah, but that's just the England.
Oh, 1 minute, boys. What?
Can I have my hard drive, please?
Yeah, that's just. I don't think that's too bad, mate.
I don't think that's bad at all.
No,
yeah.
I've seen like there's other teams that I mean Chelsea charge like 75, 80 quid a ticket for Champions League games, and I'm sure other English clubs charge that. I'm not sure what. I know around Europe they're a little bit cheaper, but it's different, isn't it? Because they don't really get the crowds like we do over here. You know, most of them sell out. So, yeah, I mean, I don't mind. I think 45, 50 quid.
Yeah, I think anything between sort of 45, 60 quid's not bad at all. Like for for European games.
Yeah.
Especially
I think it could be a little bit lower. That's all. Especially when you have to, like the next week, you have to be traveling across the fucking continent. So, like if you look at Frankfurt's price, Frankfurt was €24, I think. I think Seville's was €30. I think Zagreb's was 15.
Yeah, but then again, our away games are only 30 quid a ticket. In the Premier League.
In the Premier League.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm talking about Europe.
Yeah, I know, but I don't know. I don't really know what you mean. What you want us to You want? I don't know what you mean.
What do you mean? You don't know what I mean?
I don't know what you mean. So you want us to what? A tenner a ticket for a
Yeah,
semi-final?
it should have been cheaper than that for some of the games. That's all I'm saying. I think it should have been a little bit cheaper.
Well, they done the deal. Free tickets for 75 quid at the beginning. That was 25 quid each.
Yeah, so why didn't they keep them at 25 quid then?
Because the further you go in any tournament, it's supply and demand, isn't it? They're going to put the money up. Of course they are.
Yeah, I think that was a bit naughty, to be honest. I still think it was a bit naughty. If you don't agree with me, then you don't agree with me. But I think they should have been a bit cheaper. That's all I'm saying. These clubs say that the attendance money is nothing compared to TV money, so why rip off the fan? That's what I do agree with that. Obviously, by your face, Ryan, you don't agree with me at all.
Well, listen. Of course, I'd want tickets to be a fiver, but they're not going to be. I'm just saying, I don't think it's too bad. 45 quid for a semi-final of the European Cup. I don't think it's that bad.
Yeah, I mean, when you think when you think in the past, like you can pay like 65, 70 quid to, depending on the category of game. I don't think 45 bad at all. A semi-final.
Yeah, but it's 45 where we are in one of the lowest bands, mate.
Yeah, but I agree. Like, you'd love it if the tickets were cheaper, but they're not going to be. But I think compared to what some other tickets cost for European competition, I don't think 45 is bad at all.
The thing is, they could have whacked an extra tenner on each ticket. They could have made them 55 quid. They could have made them sick and made them whatever they wanted, really. But,
just because they can doesn't mean it's right, does it? They could have charged us 900 quid last night. You wouldn't have had a choice.
But they're not going to charge us 900 quid. That's just ridiculous. But I think the prices that they're touting, I think what they're going for is right. I mean, we've paid that at Upton Park for cup games. I remember paying that. I remember paying more at Upton Park for an FA Cup game again when we played like Tottenham and Chelsea in the FA Cup. I paid like 65 quid over Upton Park for a ticket.
I don't remember paying that much, but I think we didn't get that far in the FA Cup, and I always had a season ticket. And you used to get them with your season ticket there, didn't you?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. We've paid more for tickets. I mean, you look at before they done the 30 quid away games, Chelsea was like 65, 70 quid a ticket for an away game.
Yeah, the away games took the piss. I just think that the whole league takes the piss, to be honest with you. But I'm just saying, like, there is, when you get to these sort of, don't forget, you're talking about 45 quid. We're in one of the lowest bands. We're in band 4. There's a band 3, band 2, band 1, and then one band above that, I think. So I don't know what
that comes with the price of, like, it's like if you go to a concert, the more you pay, the closer you are to the stage. You go to boxing, the more you pay, the closer you are to the ring. The more these people pay, the closer they are to the pitch. That's their choice for their season ticket. So I mean, they could maybe, like, I don't know. I don't know. There's a goodwill gesture, knock a tenner off, but they're not going to do it. People ain't moaning about it. They know that people look how many people tried logging on to get the tickets. You know, and to be fair, they only put an extra fiver on top of what season ticket players pay for. Season ticket people pay for general sales, so they could have been cheeky there and whacked on 10 or 15 quid.
Yeah, but I mean, the thing is, 45 quid, you can spend that on a round of drinks on a night out.
Well, you spend it on 2 fish and chips if you go outside.
Right, you can spend that in the fucking concourse on fucking 3 beers and 2 hot dogs.
But I think this is the problem, though. I think that is part of the problem, is the fact that it's not just 45 quid. It's then, I said, what did I send you a picture the other day? 2 sausage and chips for how much?
What was this, in the grand?
Yeah.
15 quid. 15 quid.
It was saying like that, wasn't it? Right.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. It was like 17 quid.
That's why I never buy any food when I'm there, because it's so fucking expensive.
Yeah, so 15 quid for 2 sausage and chips.
£4 sandwiches.
Yeah, £4.50 for a fucking for a Coke. If you want a beer, it's £6.80. Yeah, I mean, I just don't think they need to rip us off like this, man. And I'm not talking about just Europe and all that. I don't think they should be doing it, at all. I think one of the burgers. I mean, when we first got there, the burgers and that were £5. Now the other day, I think they was 12. You know what I mean?
No, not 12.
Yeah.
I think they're £8.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, but I've seen like you walk past some of the vendors selling the beer and that it's like 6.50, 7.50 a pint.
Yeah.
I know what you're saying, but it's down to choice, isn't it? Like, I mean, you go in the ground and it's a £5 a pint before a certain time.
Graham had a big cup last night for £6, wasn't it, Gray?
Yeah, it was happy hour at the Heineken bar.
Exactly. That's why they do it, don't they? They want you to get there early and spend the money. And when they knock a couple of quid off a pint, it's you appreciate things like that. So look, things as someone then said, inflation, it's true. Things go up, fuel's gone up, like it's ridiculous, like what's at the moment. So prices are always going to go up. The only thing that don't seem to go up is wages. They seem to go down.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about Arsenal on Sunday, I suppose, before we get onto other subjects. What we doing here? What should we be doing here? Are we playing a little bit of double jeopardy here?
I think he's going to do the same as he did against Brentford. I think Chelsea, sorry, and rest players for Thursday.
Yeah, I agree. I said it last night. I'd play the same team that we played against Zagreb at home in the Europa League. I'd play all the kids. But look, it's still a London derby. We're still playing for a European place, so we're not going to go too. We're not going to rest too many players. But someone like Kurt Zuma, I wouldn't play him. I just wouldn't, because you wouldn't want him picking up an injury. But then again, I don't want Creswell picking up an injury. I don't want Rice or Souček or Lanzini or anyone, but we can't rest all these players. So it's a difficult one, and it's why David Moyes is in his job. But maybe people like Yarmolenko, Vlasic, a bit more like what we see against Chelsea last week. That sort of team. Noble coming back in. We just got to be careful, because it is a massive, obviously big game on Thursday, and I think the players will have half their mind on that game. Pulling out against Arsenal, don't want to get injured, So it's a difficult one.
The thing is, mate,
I don't honestly. I don't see us beating Arsenal on Sunday. I really don't.
I can't see it either. But when you look at, we've got 4 games left, right? That door for 6th place is well and truly open. It's well and truly open. Man United drawing last night against Chelsea. Has left us only 3 points behind them, and they've played a game more. I think, seeing as we're 2-1 down in this Europa League first leg, maybe it might sway him to think, right, well, it's not going our way there, so and I think it's imperative that we make sure we're playing in this competition at least next season. So he's got to have a look at what he's got available. I don't know. I've been swirling this around in my head for a couple of days now, because I'm thinking to myself, like, what do you do? Like, I mean, you put all your eggs in one basket, and you could be fucked.
Look at our bench I'm just looking at the bench from last night, right? So Fabianski, Soufal, Yarmolenko, Vlasic, Noble, Benrahma, Fredericks, Masuaku, Krul, Randolph, Elise, and Chesters, right? Fabianski, Soufal, Yarmolenko, Vlasic, Noble, Benrahma, Fredericks, and Masuaku could all start on Sunday. And you chuck a couple of them other players in there that played, a couple of other players. That's still a decent team to put out. So there are, I mean, players like Vlasic will play on Sunday. He'll start. Yarmolenko will start. I think Noble will start, because it'll be his last London derby, won't it? Home game. So he'll want to play in that. But yeah, look, there's loads of options for David Moyes, and as you said, mate, it's what he thinks. Well, we know what's more important, but there is still a chance that we can sneak into that top 6, top 7. So,
I mean,
I think this is why we had to
prioritise in Europa. I think, in my opinion.
But I think this is why it was so imperative that we picked up the points against Burnley and Brentford, or at least give it a go. You know, it was this. You know, we find ourselves in a very, very difficult situation now. A very difficult situation. Like you have to see. My fault is Europa. You know, prioritize Europa, but you want to make sure you're playing in Europa. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like this is a difficult
But
one,
then-
and we can, like, I don't care what anybody says, we can beat Arsenal. We can.
Yeah,
Of course we can.
They're a funny team, Arsenal, because I know they've won. They had a great result against Chelsea, and they beat United last week. But you look at the games before that. You know, they lost 3 in a row, and they lost to Brighton, Brentford, and I can't remember who the other one was. But they're one of these teams. They're very up and down, Arsenal. But on their day, they can punish you, and that's the only thing that worries me. Is if you put too much of a weakened team out, you could be on the end of a 3 or 4-0 loss.
Yeah, the only thing is, right, if he goes with a strong side and we ended up picking up a couple of knocks and then it weakened the side against Frankfurt, everyone would be coating Moyes off and saying, "Oh, he should have rested players" and all that, you know. So it's a fine balancing act. But personally, I think he'll do what he did against Chelsea, and I'd agree with that. To be honest,
that's why he's on the big money, though, mate. That was it. They lost to Palace, Brighton, and Southampton.
Yeah. Let's take a few comments. It's about choice. It should be affordable for every fan. Says LM. Rather eat at Westfield so much cheaper. Depends where you go. Single parents taking their children to a game. Would the club have a scheme in place to help them? Trouble is people are going to pay those prices. Yeah, I suppose that's the same with everything, isn't it? Arsenal on Sunday is £65, taking the piss. 2 sausage and chips against Brentford, 18 quid. She said to me, "You want onions?" I said, "No chance, not another 3 quid." Someone asked me why there was no lime in my Corona, mate. Look, I got it delivered to me, mate. I wasn't pushing my luck with that one. That's for fucking sure. Get a greasy kebab after, says Billy Herring. Rest and concentrate on Thursday, says Craig Colwell. About what we should do over the weekend. My mum does me a packed lunch, says Kimbo. Yeah, I think I might start taking a packed lunch.
Remember when your mum used to make packed lunches for the away games?
Yeah.
We used to go up on the coaches when we was younger, and Nicky's mum used to make us some sandwiches and that.
Yeah, she wasn't like, the thing is with my mum, I was quite fortunate because she used to own a cafe in Hackney Wick. So when she knew me and Ryan was going on a away trip, especially if we was leaving early, when we used to go on the coaches, long before we used to drive, you know, she used to make us like sandwiches in her cafe with that, that big crusty bread. Graham.
Yeah,
or the bloom. Is it a bloomer?
Like the proper fucking thick crusty
Nicky's
bread.
mum Beth used to be the bollocks because he used to back onto the big breakfast house. So when we was younger, we used to go to the big breakfast to meet like wrestlers or whatever, and then we'd go in there and it'll be like 6:30 in the morning or whatever, and like we're eating a burger and chips.
Yeah. She owned that cafe for years, man. Then they chucked her out for the Olympics. That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. She owned that cafe for years, mate. And then they come along and said, right, we're building the Olympics at an area. And she asked them if she could supply the workers, and they went, no, fuck off. We got our own catering. Basically.
Yeah,
get out. That's it. Killed her business there and then. She works in Tesco's now.
I'm trying to think if there's not much West Ham stuff, is it? Like apart from it's all been all the European build up this week, isn't it? There's not much really happening. I know there was a couple of transfer rumours that we was talking about before we started. The boy from Hull, and was it the Millwall boy you was talking about?
Yeah. It was. Let me see what his name was. I forget his name now.
I mean, the Hull player. What's his name? Is it Lewis Potter or something? The
King Lewis Potter, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, he looks quite a decent player. And they're talking about 20 million for him. And I see an Aston Villa fan put up on their Twitter the other day when we was linked with him, and they said, "Oh, look at little old West Ham. We shop at Barcelona and you shop at Hull. And I just said to him, well, maybe you should start shopping in Hull, mate, because you're absolutely dog shit this season. You know,
let's be honest, mate. We can all borrow a fucking shirt from Louis Vuitton.
Yeah, exactly.
You have to buy the fucking thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we can all go and rent a suit out of fucking Savile Row, but you got to take it back at the end. Like Coutinho, they got Coutinho. Like he hasn't done fuck all since he done it. He had a great debut where he scored 2 goals or whatever, or the equaliser against United. And then ever since then, I've not even heard nothing from him.
Nah, I said that, haven't I?
And we recently beat Villa as well. So
yeah, but look, I'm not saying Coutinho's a bad player, but fuck me, I mean, Aston Villa fans are just they're becoming the new Everton fans for me. Another set of fans.
You look like you're going to get rid of one set and another set come up.
Oh, mate. I mean, Everton. I'm still praying that they go down.
I think they've got every chance of going down.
They've got Chelsea this weekend. Do you know what though? I was saying today, I might see them turning Chelsea over. You know, at Goodison. Yeah. I can see them getting a result. It just depends now on. It's in their hands, in it, to stay up. If they win every game, they stay up. So
yeah.
Up to them.
They've got a tough running, though.
Yeah,
Everton, very tough running, But I can see it. I think Chelsea are wavering a bit.
Yeah, Chelsea are a funny team. I mean, even against us,
a little bit.
They only scored the last-minute winner, didn't they? So, and we had our reserve team out basically, like our second team. So they weren't great last night. I watched the highlights last night. I watched it today on the computer. And great finish by Alonso, by the way. And great finish by Ronaldo as well. It was 2 good goals in that game. But it was, it's sort of fading out.
Yeah,
I think one team I am worried about is fucking Newcastle. They're only 11 points behind us now.
Yeah, but they've only got 4 games left.
Yeah, I know, but if they finish the season only going like and say they finish like 4 or 5 points behind us, Eddie Howe's done a great fucking job there, and I feel sorry for him because he's going to get sacked in the summer, no doubt about that. They're going to bring someone else in, but yeah, he's done a great job. He's done a fantastic job. But then again, you're in a relegation battle. If you're given £120 million to spend, of course you're going to get out of it.
Well, the first thing he done, mate, was go and basically buy what they saw as their threats centre forward.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, listen, I think someone said earlier, I think it was a great point, like, with the league, you've got to make sure you're in them European places, because from next year, mate, them European places have all been bought. They've all been bought. There's clubs up there now. There's no more places left for clubs like us, because Newcastle will be up there. Arsenal will be up there, Tottenham will be up there, Man United, Chelsea, Man City, Liverpool. There's a lot battling for a little few places, and as I said, it all at the end of the day, it's all going to come down to who's got the most money, and that's what I said a few weeks ago, man. That's why I'd let these all go to the Super League. Fuck them.
Well, that's what I was just about to say. If the Super League, if all these teams that applied for the Super League got punished and got chucked out of the league, we'll win the league because we're 7th at the moment, so we'll take the title.
Well, you look at, I think that someone put something up earlier, like, and this is, I know Dom and that gets a lot of stick for saying like the league's corrupt and all of that sort of thing, and like they obviously, people say, like fans of the bigger teams say, oh, of course they don't favour the bigger teams, blah 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 blah, and all this sort of thing, but they got fined £21 million between the 6 of them for trying to do that. QPR alone got fined £45 million. There are clubs that have gone into administration, like, and don't exist anymore. Like there's literally fans of clubs that, imagine waking up tomorrow and West Ham didn't exist. Like, what the fuck would you do with yourself? Do you know what I mean?
Well, it'd be a lot worse, though. We wouldn't have to pay them ticket prices.
No, I know what you mean. But do you know what I mean? Like, these clubs are, You know, and this is what doesn't sit right with football, and this is why I complain about things like ticket prices and things like this. Is that the fact that, you know, they don't only just price us out, they shake us up and down, they tip us out every fucking opportunity they get. You know, you shouldn't be paying that much for food. It should be, I'll be honest with you, it should be illegal to charge that much for food when you're at a facility that you need to buy it. There should be a cap on it. You know, there should be a cap on tickets for all fans. You know, it should be accessible to people. It should be affordable to families. It really should. And I know, look, listen, I'm still moaning about our ticket prices, and we're one of the cheapest in the fucking league. Which is what shows you what sort of fucking state this game and this fucking.
But the thing is, only it's not the game it was in the, in the 80s and 90s, early 90s. It was still a
it's
working
shit.
class sport, but it's not now, is it?
But it should be a working class sport. We're
They
working
don't-
class people embedded in
but they
working
don't want
class.
the likes of us over there.
Well, listen to
They
me.
don't want.
Listen to me.
They don't want the likes of us.
Well, they have to. Otherwise, it becomes a park game.
They want people who are going to go over there, spend 300 quid.
I know what they want, Ray. I know exactly what they want. But if they got rid of all of the working class people in this sport and relied on people that come over and fucking go and buy a club shop and all of that, the sport wouldn't survive, because it becomes less interesting to people like the tourists. If it's if the tourists, we're like zoo animals. If you replaced all the zoo animals with people wouldn't come to see people, would they? You know what I mean? That's what these tourists come for. They come for people like us. They don't come, like, with all due respect, they don't come even to see the fucking football half the time. They come to hang about with the fans and and take in the atmosphere and all of that sort of thing. Football is secondary when it comes to football. You know what I mean? Like, and as I said, if you got rid of all of us and it was just tourists going there week in, week out, it wouldn't survive, because they wouldn't want to go anymore. It'd become old hat. You seen Jurassic Park? You seen Jurassic World? It's coming shit, wasn't it? That's why they had to build that new dinosaur. You know, it's all you know, well and good and new and all that when it's, you know, when it comes available. But after a while, people get bored of it. You need the hardcore fans, because they're the ones that keep them going.
Yeah, but the hardcore fans will always go. I mean, they still go now. And look at the shit we've been in the last 10 years, especially over the last 5 years. You know, it's over the last. I mean, I wasn't around during the bond scheme day and things like that. You know, I didn't really go over West Ham then. But like, you look at the last 5 years, what's happened over West Ham? It's but the fans still go. The fans will always go. We moan about the prices. We moan about flying all over Europe, but we still do it. And that's why they take advantage, and that's why they get away with it.
Yeah, that's the way it is. But, you know, as I said before, if you keep on pricing these people out, eventually they won't go right. You know, you know, us breeder fans will die out eventually.
I mean, what proved it when we had all the lockdowns and that, and the league continued, and there were no fans, just proves the money knocking about from TV revenue and all that. They didn't need us there. They don't need the fans there.
No, they don't.
You know,
it's so little. This is what I'm saying. Like, it's such little revenue. Go to Germany. Like, you go to Germany on you know, we're going to Germany next week. You look at the clubs, the way they run over there. Yeah, with Bayern Munich. You know, they charged like 200 quid for their season tickets, and then when they said to them, "Why don't you? You know, you're the European champions. You've got so many players, and you know, so much wages to. You know, why do you only charge 200 quid?" And they said something like, you know, to us, it's another 20 million quid if we put them up to 400. But to you know, to a fan, it's a lot of money. You know, we talk about 20 million pounds in one contract negotiation. To fans, £200 is a lot of money, and that's I just think, like, with the cost of living crisis and all of that sort of thing, that you're going to see increasing. Like, there you go. Look, Mr. Driscoll's just said it themselves. Right, the government debate cost of living problems, give out rebates to help more demand on food banks than ever before, and a government-owned stadium charges £14 for a chicken burger, which is true. You know what I mean? Like, but eventually, like, for families and that, you might even see it next season. there's going to have to be some sacrifices made by some families, some people, and they won't have the money to go and buy a £45 ticket or a £14 chicken burger or a £4 food. Like, if you want to charge that much for food, there should be another option to get it for cheaper, like somewhere else. There should be a cheaper option for food. When you get into a facility that you're locked in, you can't get out, and you're forced to use their facilities, there should be, like a gourmet sort of section, but there should be like maybe a fucking Tesco's in the corner selling meal deals. There should be that option. You shouldn't be forced. When you're forced to be in a place and you're not allowed to leave, you shouldn't be forced to have to, to choose. We've all had it. Jamie's done it to me when we get into like ground before, because they don't understand the price of food. You're in the queue and you go, "Can you get me an hot dog and a Twix and a Coke and a bag of sweets and all that?" And you go, "Fucking hot dog is £9, a Coke is £4.50, and he's had an hot dog, a Coke, some fucking crisps and a chocolate, and it's cost you £21." It shouldn't be like that. Like, there's no need to be charging £1.80 for a fucking Twix, or £4.50 for a fucking soda of Coke, or Pepsi or Fanta or whatever it is. There's no need to be charging that for it. It's literally greed. Greed.
Yeah, it's just I just want to rinse as much money out of you as they can there at the football grounds. Unfortunately,
it's greed. It's fucking pure greed.
Yeah, but then football fans have always been treated like that by clubs, haven't they?
It's the entertainment industry, isn't it? Like, they do it at the O2, they do it at Wembley, they do it.
You see what they was doing at that fucking Tyson Fury fight the other day, charging £9 for a beer and scooping it up out the fucking trough tray.
Yeah, but do you know what? Right, that they wasn't serving them beers. Someone's taking, 100%. Someone was taking that video, and they wasn't serving them beers. They was cleaning out the tray. They wasn't putting them back on the side and serving them.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
All right, fair play.
Yeah, someone's just edited that video and stopped it at a certain point to make it look like they was. But yeah, but look, I've been Wembley loads of times, and they charge. It's ridiculous what they charge for a pint. Their food's even more like. So yeah, it's a shame. It's, as I said, mate. Everything goes up apart from your wages. So
no, I understand inflation is inflation, but when you're getting to the point, if you still want them families to come, right? Them families, if they want me to bring my son and pass my, support onto him, and then so on and so forth, to keep them generations and generations. I come from my family was supporting West Ham when they was Thames Ironworks, when they was wearing this shirt.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, kids' season tickets are only £99.
No, yeah, £99, but you spend £25 on a fucking hot dog and chips for them.
Yeah, but you don't have to eat inside the stadium, do you?
You don't have to, mate. You don't have to.
Yeah, you don't have to. So you can eat off site. You can eat.
It's a long way off site, Ryan. It's a long way.
Well, not really.
Anything. Yeah, it is. That's a long way from the stadium.
That's not. Come on.
It is, right? Of course it is.
It's not far, mate. Come on.
It's far. It's far. It's a
15-minute walk.
Yeah, but that's 15 minutes longer than I want to walk, to be honest with you.
You get off at Stratford.
What do you mean?
You get off at Stratford Station. You've only got to walk that way to get on the high street, 5 minutes.
Yeah, but you're not talking about... I'm talking about when you're there. There's nowhere around it. You go to Upton Park, you walk to head towards Upton Park. There's things around it. Yeah, there's stalls outside it.
It's different areas.
But they've taken the choice out, right? That's what I don't like. They've taken the choice out. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's a long way, and you're sort of trapped there for a while before you get anything. I think you've got to go to Westfields, and like there's Greggs and McDonald's and things like that in Westfields. That's quite a far away from where you are.
You have to walk through Westfield to get to the stadium.
But not when you're there. You can't. Once you're there, you're there. You're not going to walk back.
Yeah, but why would you walk to the stadium to walk back? surely you'd eat like people drink in Stratford High Street. They drink in Westfield, then they go to the stadium.
I'm just saying. I think there should be choices. There should be choice. That you know,
Right,
they've got that whole land there locked down. There's no choice once you're there.
Just give you a choice.
Yeah, but you're talking about before you go there.
But
I'm talking about when you're there.
Yeah, but it's like if you go Wembley. If you go Wembley, once you're in the stadium, that's
I'm not talking about Wembley. Wembley's not affiliated to a football club. I'm talking about a football club.
Yeah. But this is what I'm saying. You have got a choice. You get off at Stratford, you turn left and go towards Stratford High Street or Westfield and eat, or you go right towards the stadium and you know you're going to pay that money when you get to the stadium.
So what happens if you want to go to the stadium first? Well, you're going to have to walk back and then walk back again.
Well, why would you go to the stadium first? Why would you go to the stadium first?
Well, because it's a park and stuff. I honestly.
Yeah, but now you're just chucking things in. It's a park. So you're going to walk now.
They shouldn't be charging vendors that much to plot up there, which forces the prices up. It's a government-owned fucking place. They should be doing it. Simple as that. That's Graham looks confused.
No, I'm just. I mean, no, like I agree. Right, I normally I'll eat or drink before I got to the ground, knowing that. I mean, I know it's different if you got kids, but personally, I always eat or drink before I get there. Might have a beer in the ground, but like I won't get the food in the ground because it's just too expensive. So, yeah, I'd agree with Ryan that I would eat sort of going through Westfield before I got there. But obviously, it's different if you got kids because they're like half time they might want some chocolate or.
And the thing
is,
something like that, if you do go to the ground before the game at a certain time, the food and drink is cheaper. So that's what they want you to do, is to get there early and you buy it. I mean, I'll go in there and sometimes like the beer's like £4 or £4.50 or something like that, and you get a pint for like £7. So which I don't think that's too bad. Like, but then again, I don't know. It depends what people want to pay.
Jamie Pack says, I think what Nicky is trying to say is if you get to the ground and then get hungry or thirsty when you're there, the options are very limited. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah, that is what I'm trying to say. But maybe I'm just being a pedantic cunt because I like whinging.
I think you're just scratching around for content and moaning.
I'm definitely not doing that.
Shut up and take your sandwiches.
I think I might, but that's another thing as well, right? You can't take stuff in from the outside; they stop you from taking it.
No, I think you can. I've seen a lot of people take stuff in.
You can take like a sandwich in, but you can't take a bottle of Coke in.
No, it's liquids. They don't let you take.
They don't take bottles in.
The same as when you go to the airport.
But I'm not fucking flying anywhere, Gray. I understand why they take it off of you when you're at fucking airport because you can blow the fucking plane up with it.
Yeah, so they've probably got the same thing in. Why would they let you take food and not drink in? So maybe they've got the same thinking as the airport securities. I don't know.
What if you poured your drink into a plastic bag? Do that. Pour your drink into a plastic bag and take it in. And then
they weren't letting you take shit. They weren't letting you take shit. But anyway, that's it. Has anyone else got anything else to talk about before we go to Ask Us Anything?
No. As I said, mate, I don't think there's much.
It's a bit light on content this week, isn't it? Because it was all, as you say, it was all fucking headed up towards the European semi-final. Sorry, I've had a beer now.
Yeah, fucking, we can tell. Fucking Nicky don't want to Nicky don't want to come out and turn left.
Any fluid over 100 ml is banned. Yeah,
take 250
Well, yeah, that's the point. Look, won't let you take bottles of Coke in, but you can take flares.
Yeah, Nicky's.
I think they shoved them up their arse.
The thing is, I think sometimes them stewards must think, fuck it, it's not worth the egg. Because you imagine if they would have tried taking them flares off, it probably would have all kicked off, wouldn't it? So they probably just think, fuck them. But it's right, isn't it? We can't even take a bottle lid into our seat.
I'll be honest with you, mate. When it comes to things like that, though, they shouldn't. You know, that's their job. They shouldn't be thinking it's not worth the ag, because it is worth the ag, because that's what they're there for. You know, that's what they get paid for. They go to 99.9% of games, and there's not fucking anyone lighting up flares like those cunts yesterday. Drag them out. Drag them out. They was dragging people out for fucking worse, like less when we was at the London Stadium. When we first got to the London Stadium, like when we was, you know, you fucking get some old boy who couldn't find his seat and he'd sit in the wrong seat by accident, and the cunts would fucking sling him out. You know, like that's their job. They should be dragging people out with flares like that. You know, the geezer standing at the front. He's at the very front, holding the fucking thing up, like grab him by the scruff of the neck.
Kind of like the Statue of Liberty standing there.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? Like,
I'll tell you what though, one thing I would say about them Frankfurt fans last night that I thought was good was when they was doing that bit where the top tier was singing their bit and the bottom tier was singing their bit, and they was doing the flags and that. I think they're probably the best set of away fans I've ever seen at London Stadium.
Yeah, they're unreal. They're unreal fans. But
I find that with like, a lot of people were saying about our atmosphere last night. Now, I think English fans are different to them sort of European fans, because I think someone said it earlier in the chat. They have their different areas, don't they? Have like their ultra area, and like we see it at Lazio before, like what they're like. Like it's different. It's different with the European game, but no, they were brilliant.
They're different. They're different cultures, and I think that's where the flares come from. I think in Europe they do welcome the flare. You know, I did see one geezer though. I don't know whether anyone see this, but he held up a flare and he dropped it, and I see a load of people like scrambling around, like panicking, and then he picked it up again and he's holding it up for about 3 seconds, and then he dropped it again.
Probably burning his hand.
I thought it looked quite good. It did look good when they was all doing the Poznan.
Yeah, it does look good. And when they was all waving their flags and as I said, doing it like the top tier, then the bottom tier, they were singing something, and the top tier was singing something. It's obviously something they do every game. So it was good to see. Like, but hopefully they'll all be crying next week when we beat them.
A large portion of our fans are fucking toxic, says Derrick Clarkson. Yeah, I agree with that, mate. Stevie B, how many of West Ham Fan TV going to Frankfurt? Us two, innit?
2.
Yeah, you and Ryan, isn't it?
Yeah.
2. Should be
this is a good point. They are encouraged to be excessive in their support. We are encouraged to be passive. And I know why that is as well, because they're majoritarily owned by supporters.
Yeah, they're 51%, don't they? They're never allowed to have a majority owner that owns more than the fans, I think. I think that's all clubs out there, isn't it?
What, apart from one?
Leipzig, innit?
Leipzig, yeah.
That's why they're not really liked.
They're hated out there.
When was they, mate? About 2009, wasn't it? 2010, they were.
2009, I think they was founded. Yeah. I think that was a club before, but what happened was I think Red Bull's purchased a smaller club, and they've basically like rebranded them and everything else. But they're the only one that haven't got. I think it's maybe them and one other that haven't got the 50+ one, but they're very, very disliked because of it. Because they're just a corporate team. They're backed by Red Bull. So
yeah, but it's same in the Austrian league, isn't it? Salzburg, I think that the Salzburg fans, I was watching something about it ages ago. They formed a breakaway club because they wanted to change the team colours and everything, like, you know, just rip up the history of their club and forget all about it. So
Hoffenheim is the other one. Hey, do you remember when we had the rumours that we was going to get taken over by Red Bull?
Yeah.
Imagine if we got to the final and Red Bull Leipzig got there and fucking it'd be an all Red Bull final, wouldn't it? The Red Bull derby. Collector says Man U are backed by hedge fund companies and Man City are backed by nation state. That's the way football's going, I'm afraid. Yeah, that's the way football's going.
You know, I mean, the thing is, like, we keep going, you know, like we keep saying, the only way we can compete is if we get taken over. You could have 20 clubs owned by billionaires. someone's got to finish bottom, someone's got to finish top. So there's no guarantee of success.
No, you're right, mate. You're right. You are right.
You can't put all place in the trophy cabinet, Gray.
No, you can't.
Send us some questions, lads. We're going to be answering for the next sort of 15 minutes or so.
Oh, fucking shattered. I get out for work early as well. Ah, fucking shit on a Saturday. And it's bank holiday as well. They've right screwed us over in work.
I'd like to know where we get Daniel Kretinsky is during all this Euro success. No idea, mate. No idea. Scott Wolf says,
oh, go on.
Can't get to Frankfurt, but going to the fan park at Stratford should be rocking if we get through. I think that got sold out pretty quickly, that one.
Yeah, that'd be good. That it looks really good. I'm sure it's that place opposite Stratford High Street Station.
Yeah, pitch. Yeah,
it looks really good. So that'd be good. Ryan Nicky Graham, how many goes to pass your driving test? Did any of you fluke it? And what was your first car? This should be a good one for Nicky.
5 times.
How many times do you, Gray?
3.
I'll win then. I was twice. I was second.
5, me.
What was your first car, Gray?
1983 Volkswagen Polo that my uncle gave me for me.
I bet you fucking love that car and all.
I did, mate.
I bet your mum got the camera, the old Polaroid out. You had a picture next to it in a suit.
Mate, I loved it. The thing is, it was like it kept breaking down and everything, but it was my first car. I loved it.
I had a red P-Reg Ford Fiesta, right? And it was all right. And then after a couple of months, it kept overheating. And I had to keep turning the heating on. And opening
in the summer, yeah. I had a car like that.
Summer, I had to just let the heat out. And but look, you always remember your first car, you know what I mean? Like,
I remember.
White red as well. I don't even like red. I don't even like red cars, but you never forget. I still remember the number plate as well.
I remember I had a car. My first car was a Vauxhall Astra, and it was an old one like that. I bought it off someone, and I bought it just as I was coming up to my first test. I was confident I was going to pass. So it got sort of left out the back, and obviously I failed my test, and then I booked a second and a third and all that sort of thing. And what happened was, because it was an older car and I lived in a fucking rough old area, it kept on getting broken into. So I had to, I borrowed it to someone. So I said, like, just like a family friend of ours, I said, use that until, I pass my test, because, it's outside. People were cutting the fucking fuel line, fucking to drain the petrol out, and fucking kept on breaking into the back of it, like, smashing the windows and fucking like bending the doors. I said to like a family friend, like, take it and borrow it for until I pass my test. And the fucker got nicked. The clutch went at first, which was more than the car, and then they took it to East Ham and someone fucking nicked it. I never saw it again. I never even got to drive my first car. But I remember I had the same thing as Ryan with the overheating, right? And I remember I took this girl out before I met Chloe and that, like, and I think it was a Peugeot 106 I had. I remember I bought one of them, and that I had the same fucking like problem, and I was a bit embarrassed by it. You know what I mean? Because I didn't. Obviously, it kept on like. It kept on, the temperature kept on rising and it kept on overheating. So I had to whack their fucking heaters on to let the heat out, right? And I remember, obviously, when you're driving along the road, the wind's flowing through it, so it's all right. It's when you got stuck in any sort of traffic that it starts to overheat, right? So I remember we went to Southend on a bank holiday, right? And I'm trying to impress this girl, and it's fucking like 110 degrees outside. We're both fucking sitting in the car, and I could see the temperature, right? We got caught in traffic, and I could see the temperature on the gauge rising. I don't want to turn around and say, oh, well, basically, I drive a piece of shit. So I went, I'm a bit chilly. She went, what? And I went, a bit chilly. And I whacked the heating on. And we were sitting in there, I swear my life, it was about 160, 170 degrees in that car. And she was going to him like, Nick, what the fuck are you doing? And I'm like, yeah, I'm just a bit cold and all that. She's like, it's 100 degrees outside, Nick. It's midday. You know what I mean? Why have you got the heating on? And I was like, and then I was trying to tell, and then I sort of said, no, I've got a problem with the car. It overeats and all that. And I got her to have the heating on. And she was convinced that I was whacking it on so she'd take clothes off. Yeah, she was convinced by it. It didn't last long.
Mate, honestly, I remember my car overeating as well. It was fucking mental. But yeah, as I said, mate, you never forget your first car. Like, it's just funny.
I see.
Ben Watson go. Here we go. He drives to Poland.
I see Ginger Carroll going. Oh, he's still got that Polo. Yes, it was a Polo, but it was a different one.
Well, have you got a Polo now, Gray?
No, I did have. I had a 06 plate, but Ginger Carroll was going. Oh, Gray used to pick me up in that Polo. It was a different Polo.
God, how many West Ham games have you go to? I'm assuming have you been to, and have you met any players at West Ham?
I couldn't count. It's got to be hundreds.
Yeah, it's got to be.
Oh, fucking hell. Yeah.
And I mean, I've been going since regularly 89.
I reckon it's over 1,000.
Yeah.
I reckon over 1,000 games I've been to. Never really. I might sit there and count them one day. But have we ever met any players at West Ham over the years? Of course. I think I can answer for us all on that one. What's that? What's your favourite moment of West Ham Fan TV?
Favourite moment?
There's a few. I'll say the live show's got to be. But I'll say when Ryan interviewed John Hartsman was all there. That was a.
Yeah, there's loads of moments in it. Yeah, I think it's meeting the ex-players has been good. Meeting current players has been good. Going to, I think one of the, we don't really talk about it too much, but I was thinking about this the other day. It was more when I was watching the Tyson Fury fight. I think going to the premiere of the Bobby Moore movie was good, and when we was like sitting in the middle of the pitch watching it on the screen, and
Wembley,
that was surreal because like, and we got to meet a few of obviously his ex-teammates and that, and it was that was a good experience. I really enjoyed that night.
Yeah, I mean, I say when we get to meet the like the ex-players and that, like getting for me personally, getting to interview Phil Parks, Tony Cottee, Kevin Locke, the players like that. Getting to meet Jimmy Walker on a number of occasions and have a beer with him.
Was that when you dressed up like Percy Sutton?
Percy Sutton, what?
Boris Becker's been jailed for 2 years apparently.
Yeah, I was watching that earlier.
He got banged up, did he? I said he could go, but did he get
2.5 years he got? He was hiding money when he was bankrupt, the saucy git. But
I think he was siphoning it out of the account, wasn't he?
Yeah. That's the Germans for you.
What would be considered as a success? Surely 7th and no trophy would be a disappointment now. Need European football next season in danger of a gap developing again.
I think if we even if we finish,
I mean, we get Europa League conference.
Yeah,
we finish 7th. So.
As long as we finish like in the conference, I'd love Europa again. I really would, but obviously I'd love Champions League, and that would mean winning the Europa League. So, but yeah, I mean, if we finish the season, that's the only thing that worries me is if we lose next Thursday, that's it, the season's over, and we just fade, and we just don't end up getting in Europe, and that'd be a huge disappointment because what we've witnessed this season, we want more European nights.
Yeah.
Do you slot print your tickets out, or do you use the QR code on your phone?
I'll do the QR one.
Yeah, I do the QR.
You tap it now, didn't you? You don't even scan it now. You just tap it.
I still use the QR code. I don't even have to do that fucking thing. They changed it twice this season already.
You know what, though, mate? You know what, mate? It's that new one is so easy. You don't. You know, you used to have to put your phone in the thing.
Yeah.
You don't, mate. You just tap it. And
No. I saw that
quiet.
they put the technology there, and I knew it'd come at some point because you see it at the beginning of the season that they'd put the technology in. It was a farce at the first, but it seemed to have worked pretty well now. To be honest with you, with the tickets.
Yeah, people were flying through the turnstiles last night.
Yeah, I do like a card, and I wouldn't mind having a card just to tap on that thing.
I miss ticket.
What tearing out the ticket before you got to the turnstile?
I miss going in with a ticket and someone sitting behind there checking it.
Yeah,
I miss the old days.
But
or the old books you used to get and they tear that match out.
What I was saying earlier, right?
You used to stand there looking for the number, didn't you?
What I was saying earlier on Twitter, they're fucking cheeky, West Ham, because like you go, like when you book your Frankfurt ticket, you fucking book it, you pay for it, you fill out all the forms, you print out the fucking ticket, you have to go and get it, and then you have to fucking get back to where you was going, and they charge you a fucking administration fee. We should be charging them £1.
I'm sure sometimes they charge £2 on it.
Do they? Fucking cheeky bastards.
I'm sure they slip an extra £1 on. Like you don't notice. You get to the checkout, you don't even notice.
No, obviously,
what's happened
in the old days. There was administration costs because you'd have to print tickets out and then send them off and all that sort of thing. But now everything's on your phone. Like I don't know what they're still charging this administration fucking cost for. But the Frankfurt ones are even the worst ones because they literally do fuck all, nothing. They pick up the tickets from Frankfurt and sit in a room, and you have to print the vouchers, you have to fucking fill out the forms, you have to fucking do the transactions yourself. They literally do fuck all, and they charge you £1 for it.
I know, saucy bastards. But Philip, Sam, what's your favourite swear word?
Fuck.
No, mine's obvious, man. I say it in nearly every sentence.
Cunt.
Yeah, C word. I love it.
C word's my.
I love it.
It's the go-to one because the thing is, it can be a term of endearment or a term of abuse. So it's like the Swiss Army knife for swear words.
Yeah, I love it. I just love it, and I love it when you're in America and you say it and they look at you like you just fucking said the worst thing you could ever say. But I do love it. I don't think I go a day without saying it. I must say it at least 100 times. I fucking love it. I just swore it. I swore to say how much I love it.
Collectorus says, "What did you spend your first pay packet?" That's a
give me mum some housekeep.
Fuck that.
No, I did. My first pay packet was £140.
My first pay packet, I went up Granitors and bought a shirt.
I remember it was £140 because I was an apprentice in a print finisher factory. Print finishers, right? And I lasted very, very short time there. Very short time. I was a liability, to be quite honest with you. And it was 140. Has he fell off the chair?
That's right. I got plugged with charger.
I swear on my life, I thought he fell off the chair. He looked like that geezer when they're on that boat. And he's trying to drive that boat, and they're all going all over the fucking shop.
Remember that time when you done that? When you done that video with Hammer's chat? And I thought you fell off the chair.
Yeah. But I remember I got £140. I went and bought myself. I give my mum £20. I went and bought a £80 tracksuit. No, sorry, a £60 tracksuit. And I remember it was an Adidas one, navy blue with red stripes and all this sort of thing. It was a zip-up jacket one. And I think I went out, and that was it. And I found out very, 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 very quickly that £140 don't get you far in life, even back in 1998 or whatever it was.
I remember I used to give me my £150 like for keep, but I used to borrow £200 off her, so I was always £50 off better anyway.
Yeah. Hey, I've become a patron. Love the Hammer It Out podcast. Honestly, it's worth the money a month. Nikki, would you have Graham on a show one day? Nah, fuck off. I'm not having him on.
Graham's first packet was £1.02.
Yeah. Shilling and tuppence. He bought a toffee
I
from the toffee shop.
I got 2 guineas and there's a penny less.
Yeah. He ran home like Charlie Bucket in Willy Wonka. Daddy, I've been paid. I've got 2 shillings. 2 shillings, I tell you. Graham, go to the shed.
Ryanair does the same with airline tickets, mate. Don't get me started on the fucking airlines, man. I've got so many fucking complaints about airlines at the minute. It's a joke. They're getting away with murder, them cunts. I'm telling you.
What, the airlines?
Yeah, they're just getting away with murder. They're taking people's money up. I'm just cancelling flights. You can't get your money back.
Yeah, because they're trying to make up the money they lost during.
Yeah, but Gray, they can't just steal it, mate.
No, but that's,
I want to know if anyone's in the chat right now, who the fuck is governing these people? Because I swear on my life, right?
Yeah, well, the tickets are gone.
We booked a flight to Eindhoven and Austria in fucking, when was it? August? Yeah?
Yeah.
They cancelled them 2 flights. Yeah? And they haven't given me a fucking refund. I booked them in August, Greg. It's April. Like, it's like me turning around and saying to you, like, all right, Greg, do you want a cab journey? And you go, all right, then. I say, yeah, pay me up front. It's 50 quid and all that. And I just don't turn up in the car. And you say, well, you didn't take me. And I go, well, fucking tough shit. I've got you 50 quid now. They can't just fucking, they can't just fucking take their money. They're fucking, they're the work. Collectorists I work for right now. Yeah, they're the fucking worst. You know, the worst thing is the other day, right? Is, like, and I know why airports are suffering staff shortages, by the way, because they made every fucker redundant during the fucking pandemic. But you know, the worst thing is the other day, I contacted the customer services place, right? And I asked her where my money was, and they got offended. I mean, it's like I went to like,
how dare you?
Yeah, so sorry. Can you tell me about this refund? And she's going like, how dare you? How dare you ask me where your money is? And I'm like, well, she went, well, you have nothing to do with refunds. Blah blah blah. Oh, that was it, because a friend of mine has pulled out of the Frankfurt trip. He was coming out to Frankfurt with us, and he can't make it, right? So all I was asking is there a chance we can change the name for someone else, right? And she was like, no, you can't. And I'm like, well, why not? You know? And they're like, because you can't, basically. And I'm like, well, it's
because I said so.
Yeah, it's a bit silly, isn't it? Because there's going to be we've paid for it. There's going to be a seat getting spare. I said, all you got to do is going to be loads of people that want to get out there. I said, all you got to do is change the name. She's going, well, no, you can't. And I'm like, all right. I said, it's a bit fucking out of order. So can you give us a refund for it and sell it again? No, definitely not. Once it's paid for, that's it. It's all final and all that sort of thing. And I started sort of like getting a little bit of like fucking pissed off of them. And I said, like, you've nicked my money fucking 6 months ago. For 2 flights. And I said, I ain't seen a fucking penny back. The least you can do is do me a favour. And she's like, how dare you? We have nothing to do with refunds. And she went, it's not nothing to do with us. And I'm like, well, who is it to do with then? You're the customer services people. If I can't talk to you about my refund, who the fuck am I talking to? And she went, it goes above me. I don't know who it is. And I'm like, and she's like getting right offended. You shouldn't phone up having a go at us. And I was like, well, yeah, not to be funny on that. I mean, I said, this is your fucking job. Like, people, if you're stealing people's money,
when you do your woman's voice, you got a right telephone sex voice. Do you know that?
Yeah, I know.
Ain't that who we flew with? Wizz Air. Didn't we fly?
Wizz Air, yeah, that's even fucking worse.
Yeah, I think they when I was going Vienna, I think it was Wizz Air. I didn't get the money back off of them.
No, we didn't get fuck all. We've never got fuck all. They just take it, and then they went like that. Yeah, fuck you. Basically,
fuck you.
Yeah, can I have my money back, please?
Put the phone down, you dirty bastard, or I'm going to spank you.
Yeah, fuck you.
You've been a naughty boy.
You've been a naughty boy. Now go to the dungeon.
Yes, I don't know. What does this mean? People say this all the time. What does that mean? Oxymoron.
It means it's not what it.
What? Not what it appears.
Yeah, not what it says it is.
Yeah,
It's not like Rontil does exactly what it says on the tin.
What's the best airline you've ever travelled with? I've got to say Virgin.
Yeah, Virgin's pretty good. I'm flying with. When I go to New York, I'm flying with British Airways. I've never flown with British Airways before, so I'm looking forward to that.
I flew with them. They're all right, but they're not as good as Virgin.
Yeah, and our Virgin's the daddies, and that's why they're so expensive, Virgin. But they do look after you, Virgin.
Mind you, I flew to South Africa with Lufthansa. They weren't bad.
No, there's a couple of good ones. Apparently,
Thomas Cook wasn't too bad.
Like Emirates is meant to be really good.
Oh yeah, Emirates is fucking that's the fucking
the daddy of the daddy.
Yeah, that's like, I suppose you go Emirates then Virgin, wouldn't you? Really?
Yeah, I'm flying Emirates. They're good. No, Turkish.
Mickey, can you please ask Josiah about podcast highlights?
Yeah, he went. Did I see?
I ain't had time to do them, mate. They're very, very long-winded. I just ain't had time to do them. If you want to hear the podcast, just go on to the Patreon. But you know, they will be up when I get a bit more time. I just haven't had time. They're very involved, and the computer we've got just can't handle the fucking video. So yeah, they will be back, but it just depends when we get a new computer and whatever. I might put them up as sound bites, but the thing is with like podcast highlights, and I know it sounds like fucking stupid, but like you do the podcast and then you edit the podcast and you have to upload it. But then to do highlights, you have to then go through the whole fucking show again. Like, and if it's 2 hours, I've got to sit there for 2 hours and then another 3 hours on top of that, chopping it down, and then another fucking 3 hours on top of that, like, you know, doing the video and syncing it all up. And at the moment, like when the fucking like where we've got so much video and the computer's, you know, not as good, it's taking like a day, 2 days, 3 days. It's a lot of, you know, to edit. It's a lot to edit, you know, when you're trying to do other things as well. Do you know what I mean? Like, so yeah, it will be back. You know, without a doubt. But I might just put the sound clips up at the minute because the video. I love doing the video. I think the video. I think it separates us from a lot, you know, the multicams and all that sort of thing. But we just haven't got the equipment to run the video at the minute. It comes down to Dan at the end of the day, but it is that fucker broke his hand punching his fucking best mate in the face. So,
well, the forehead.
Yeah. Why on earth would you punch someone's forehead? I don't know. But
Mr. Driscoll's coming out with some shocking jokes, but are making me chuckle.
Yeah, he's got the dad jokes, isn't he?
Did you see the Back to the Future one? He goes, my mate's got a DeLorean. He only drives it from time to time. I was like, oh, God.
Someone said a good one earlier, but I can't remember what it was now. I might scroll back. It was something like, I got rid of my obese parrot. It was a weight off my shoulder.
Yes. Oh, don't.
Someone said I lost my wife's audio book. I'm never going to hear the end of it.
You know, proper dad jokes.
Kimbo says I'm on Patreon, but haven't had time to watch any, mate. It's a podcast. You know, you can listen to it. Plug your headphones in, mate, and get about your day and listen to it. It's well produced as well. I must admit, like, and I'm not just saying this to, you know, to blow our own trumpet and all of that. But if you haven't heard it, it's very well produced. Like the equipment that we got for it all, like we have bought a load of cameras and stuff. Now it's the computer, but the equipment that we've got for it is top grade. It's like a studio, you know, a proper studio podcast, and the sound is excellent. Like the microphones that we got, the soundboard and all that is a proper. You know, there's none of this fucking like. Apart from when we had to do it remotely every now and then when the studio isn't available, but everything sounds fucking top notch, mate. You know, it's easy on the ears, and it's a good podcast as well. This week's one was a really, really interesting podcast. It was literally just we started talking and that was it. You know?
That's what a podcast is, isn't it?
No, but normally you have a little bit.
There was no. This week's one was like there wasn't no like. So apart from obviously talking about the semi-final, it was just all there was loads of different bits that we spoke about. It was good.
Yeah, it was like we went into a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and it was very interesting this week. And Dom makes me laugh at times. He can be, I'll tell you, he can be a bit fat. Like you were on to hear his story last week. Now I would say I'm a little bit of a connoisseur when it comes to storytelling. You know what I mean? So and I asked him because obviously he went to Leon, yeah. So I asked him to tell us a story about Leon. Great, you wanted to listen to this story, mate. Tell him the story, right? Tell him what the gist of it was.
Oh, fuck me, I can't even remember it now. But basically, like, instead of him saying how he got from A to B, he went round the whole fucking alphabet just to tell us how he got to B. Like, he was like, yeah, so I woke up in the morning, I put my slippers on, and then I walked down the stairs, and I met Marshy, and come on, Dom, just tell us how you fucking got to there. And then he went, then I got on a train, and I ended up back at the airport, and I'm like, come on, Dom, for fuck's sake, just tell us the end of the story. And it got to that, it got so far in it, I was like, when you're not even listening to it anymore,
Yeah.
you just wait till they say the end of the story. When they're finished, you just do like a nervous laugh, like.
It pissed me off because I thought to myself, like, I don't want to be rude and like thingy, but in the end, right, I just had to say to him, like, fucking hurry up, man, because he was speaking for 15 minutes and he hadn't said anything.
Was he trying to outdo your Poland story, Nick? Is that what he was trying to do?
I'm like that. When you get sent a video on WhatsApp or something, and it's like anything over a minute, I don't watch it. I just okay, got it. So what I do is sometimes I either reply with a laughing emoji, and I think, oh shit, I hope it was funny, and they haven't just told me a sad story, and I'm laughing at it, or I just like skip to the end. Or when someone sends you an essay of a text, I thought I'd just breeze through it, read the end, because the important bit's at the end, isn't it? So. And I just reply with, "Oh shit, sorry," or whatever, LOL. I'm fucking bad at that.
But yeah, it's he was just going around. He's got some good stories. The stories that he tells. He's a funny guy, Dom. But the way he tells his stories, he needs work, man. Because he spoke for 20 minutes and he hadn't said nothing.
He's the oldest looking 26-year-old I've ever seen in my life.
Oh my goodness me! Well, do you know what we need to do? We need to do a campaign because I think Dom needs a date. I thought he was going
to say get him a campaign to get him a syrup, get him a wig.
Yeah, we should get him a syrup, but Dom needs a date. Right, let's do a campaign right now. Let's start this campaign. Dom needs a date. Let's find someone that is willing to date Dom. Now that's going to be a fucking hard sell, that one, but I'm sure we can find him someone.
That's it. Fucking build him up, mate. I like it.
No, he's an hard sell. He's obsessed with he's obsessed with West Ham. He's a miserable fuck, but he's a really nice guy, and they have to, give him a chance. Like set him up with someone. You need a deaf bird. Yeah.
Get him on that first dates. We'll set him up with someone.
Undateables.
We'll set him up with a fucking Astra Goo van.
Yeah,
I'll tell you, there's some shocking dad jokes going on in the comments.
There must be a Romanian woman over here.
Can you imagine that? Dom on Take Me Out. He comes down, he goes, all right, I'm Dom and I'm from Southend. Boo, 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 boo. I'll fuck the lot of you then.
Yeah. He gets very but yeah, can you imagine if he went on one of them dating programs and he went out with a Romanian girl?
Imagine Paddy with the Guinness guy. No foo-foo, no goo-goo.
But can you imagine if he went out with a Romanian girl when she was actually an Astra fan? Imagine him going like, who's you support then? Yeah, I support Astra Juju. What?
How have we got onto this anyway? I just don't know how we got
Fuck
on there.
knows, mate. But we're going to be finishing up soon. Ryan's got to go work in a minute. Can anyone see any more questions?
Naked Attraction. Imagine him on Naked Attraction. It goes up. Oh, he's got his fucking Marty McFly jacket on, but he's naked from the waist down.
Do you know what? Right, I've seen his dick, Doms. Right.
Yeah. Once again, how have we got onto this?
I've seen his dick, and he has got a fucking. He's got. I'll tell you, he's well endowed. I'll give him that.
Is it like a baguette?
Well, I wouldn't go that far. But he's doing all right. Like he's doing all right.
Yeah, but
I don't know how I saw his dick.
He's not doing all right because he's doing fuck all with it. He beats.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, you can have the biggest fucking, you know.
Right now we've talked about that. I'm off to
biggest present under the tree. If you don't unwrap it, it's nothing, is it? Don't mean nothing.
I thought Graham was going to say. Now we spoke about that. I'm off to bash one out.
No, I'm off to find the brain bleach, mate.
Graham went. All right, that's it. Now we've talked about Dom's piece. I'm off to bash one out. 2 shillings ago.
Yeah, but yeah, as I say, you can have the biggest present under the tree, but if you don't have a wrap it every now and then, you can't have fun. So, yeah, let's leave it there then. I think we'll leave it on Dom's dick. Thank you very much,
Graham. As we've always said, mate, it's not the size of the army; it's the force of the attack, mate.
Oh dear.
Thank you very much for joining us on this edition of West Ham Fan TV's Friday Night Pint. As I said before, the podcast is up. If you want to go and do that, link is in the description down below for the Patreon. Go and check out all the stuff from yesterday. I know it was disappointing, but we'll be building up towards Arsenal tomorrow. I know there's a few previews going out and stuff like that tomorrow. And I know, obviously, on the day we'll have the fan cams and post-match pint and all of that sort of stuff. And then Tuesday, the new podcast, and then we'll be building up towards that big trip because we're traveling. I think we're traveling on Wednesday, early Wednesday. So we'll be out in Frankfurt filming some stuff on Wednesday in Frankfurt. So yeah, we'll be building up towards the Frankfurt game. So keep it locked here. Coming up towards the end of the season. Thank you very much for joining us on this edition. Subscribe if you're new. If you're watching it in a replay. Subscribe, like, and all of that sort of thing, and share it for people to watch. We'll be back next week, I guess. Will we? No, we won't be back next week, will we?
No, we'll be in Germany.
We'll be. We'll be in Germany. We might do something from Germany if we can get the equipment out, but I doubt it very much. So we'll be back in 2 weeks then with Friday Night Pint. Thank you very much. One thing left to say.
Come on, you irons.
Come on, you irons.
It's been emotional.